Online learning is here to stay and to grow. In his recent study of online learning, Vancouver-based technology guru Tony Bates found that enrollment in fully online courses in the US expanded by 21% between 2009 and 2010, compared to a 2% expansion in on-campus enrollments. Over 80% of US students are expected to be taking courses online in 2014, up from 44% in 2009. Online learning will account for a growing proportion of post-secondary education. This will change the behaviour of institutions, teachers and students. Here are 3 trends to watch. The first is that online learning will shift student enrolments from public post-secondary institutions to private for-profit institutions. To prevent this happening, public institutions must learn from for-profit institutions how to offer online learning effectively. In the US, the for-profit sector has 32% of the total online market, compared to 7% of the overall higher education market, and 7 of the 10 US institutions with the highest online enrolments are for-profit. So as demand for online learning grows, the private sector will capture more and more students unless the public sector competes in a more robust manner. And I mean competing on quality. The for-profit sector does online learning better because it treats it as a business system. It uses the 2 good industrial principles of division of labour to achieve economies of scale and specialisation to improve quality. Meanwhile, the public sector still takes what Tony Bates calls the Lone Ranger approach, where individual faculty members handle every aspect of their online courses. This does not yield economies of scale, and it does not result in consistent quality, because few faculty members have either the time or the inclination to acquire specialist knowledge in every aspect of the online learning process. So I conclude that if public post-secondary institutions want to succeed in the online world, they will need either to work in teams instead of as Lone Rangers, or to outsource their online teaching to the private sector. The second important trend is open educational resources, or OER. These are publicly available learning resources ranging from small modules to whole courses, which you can take, use and adapt to your needs without having to ask permission or pay royalties. The movement to create, reuse and repurpose OER has been growing for a decade, and there is now a substantial corpus of high-quality material on almost every topic that you can download and use. Some teachers are uncomfortable with using others' material, but why reinvent the wheel? If someone has already developed an excellent resource for teaching a tricky topic, why not use it and devote your energy to creating a similar resource for another tough concept and then share that? Governments are cottoning on to the advantage of OER and beginning to help students by using OER to cut the high cost of textbooks. So OER are a simple innovation that will bring us closer to the ideal of a global commons of knowledge for the benefit of all humankind. The third trend is mobile technology. I have 3 devices on my desk. My laptop is portable, my cell phone is mobile, but what about my iPad? it is almost as mobile as my phone, but can do as much as my laptop. But let's not worry about definitions. The important point is that people can now access learning almost anywhere in many formats. Now, this does not mean that post-secondary institutions should bulldoze their campuses and concentrate their efforts on the network. But it does mean that institutions should think hard about what the campus can provide that technology doesn't. 10 years ago, students were hesitant about online learning. Sitting in the classroom was less effort than taking charge of your own learning. But they quickly discovered that if they did take charge, they had more freedom to organise their lives and their schedules. Online learning means more time for earning, something that the for-profit sector have understood very well. So I conclude where I began. Online learning is a game changer for post-secondary education. Corporate profiles of institutions are evolving fast, faculty members are conceiving their role differently, and students are warming to the idea of learning anywhere, anytime. So the post-secondary system will look very different by 2020.